So today we are looking at the new Linux distro, which is dwKDE. So here is the boot menu of dwKDE. So let's go to the utilities. Here we have hardware detection. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So this is a new Linux distro which I found in the SourceForge website. So I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So I already booted once to test whether this Linux distro will run or not. So I didn't see any of the options. I just booted and shut it down. So I need to experience everything right now. So I don't know anything about this Linux distro, to be honest. We need to see what are all the new things we get in this Linux distro other than other type of Linux distros. So we need to wait for a few seconds to load up the desktop layout. Usually it will take maybe like 2 minutes or 3 minutes in my laptop, almost every Linux distro, but this Linux distro booted very quickly when I tried in the first time. So let's wait. So the desktop environment you get is KDE Plasma. The name itself in the Linux distro says dwKDE, so we are getting the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So let's wait and see how much of time it takes. So here we can see a mouse pointer already, and we should be waiting for our desktop with applications and all those things to be loaded. So when I was not recording, it was very quick, but when I started recording, it's taking a bit of time. So maybe it should take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So it should be more or less in your PC. So I'll be making 2 videos daily without missing any day. So if you want to consider subscribing, you can subscribe. And I need to mention another thing is that I'm not going to edit any of the video because you need to see the raw part. So that's the reason I'm going to keep everything like that. So maybe I'll just edit the audio part, and I'm not going to edit any of the video because you need to see what will happen in almost in entire video. So that's the reason I'm trying to keep like that. So there will be mistakes of me talking, so you need to bear with it. I'm trying to give you the best content. So that's the reason I don't want to trim any part. Maybe the boot part usually, but I'm going to keep everything like that in this video. Almost in every video I just trim the booting process, and I'm going to keep all those in entire videos. For this video I didn't even stop talking even when it was booting. So it took almost like 2 to 3 minutes to boot up. So here is the desktop layout and here is the installer. So let's first open the system monitor first to see how much of resources it consumes. So here is our system monitor. I'm going to change all the display settings and all those things after seeing the resources. I don't know what language it is, but let's roll with it. So the RAM is almost like 1.3 GB of 7.7 GB, which I already mentioned. I'm using 8 GB of RAM for the virtual machine. So here is the CPU, and here are some of the information. The Linux distro is called dwKDE, and it's based on Debian New Linux 12 and the KDE Plasma version 5.27.5. And the frameworks you get is 5.103.0 and the Qt version is 5.15.8. so these are all the programs or applications running right now. So as you can see again here, so here is the graph of the CPU and the RAM and the network. So let's go to the process. Let's see how much of process running right now in the beginning of the video or when we started the boot. So these are all the process running right now. I'm going to keep the system monitor throughout the video in the right side corner so you can see all the changes. Before that, let's change the display settings. So my monitor is 1920 into 1080. So let's change it with a 16:9 ratio. Keep this configuration. Let's close this thing and let's put the, as you can see, there is a smooth transition here, like a jello thing. So I'm going to keep like this. So it's almost like a 1.4 GB right now. So it's not a lightweight Linux distro in my case. So if you want to try to test it, you can test it on your virtual machines, or you can try it in the live boot. Don't try to install it because it's not a well-known Linux distro. It's almost unknown, to be honest. So I randomly found this Linux distro in the SourceForge. I'm going to show you the website also, or the link for the downloads of dwKDE. So let's get the Chrome browser. So usually you should be getting the Firefox web browser in almost every Linux distro. So sometimes you should be seeing Chrome browser, Chromium, Falcon, and Brave browser, like this type of things. So I don't understand what it is because of the language. So these are all the same things when you run the Google Chrome browser. So let's check the version we get. So there is a smooth transition, or the animation of a jello, or it's like a jelly thing. So I think this is not to sign in. So let's make it bigger so you can see changes properly. So I think it should be help, and it should be about Chrome. The version you get is 126. I think this is the latest version. So let's go to the SourceForge website and find this dwKDE files. Let me type in SourceForge, and here we have the SourceForge website. Let's open it and let's try to search dwKDE. Here it is. So features dwKDE live ISO Baser end of Debian 12. So this is a different language. I thought it's kind of code name or something like that. So Calamares installer, Chrome browser, Bitwarden, Nextcloud, Bitterbird, Telegram desktop, and something like that. So let's see whether we have an official website or anything like that. You don't have an official website, you just get it from the SourceForge. So let's go to the files. So the RAM is almost 2.2 GB, and CPU for some reason it's almost it's not stable again. So the version is 2406, and the date here is the ISO file, which is dwKDE 2406, and the file size is around 2.9 GB, which is 3 GB. So it's Dutch, I guess. Let's open the Linux distro. So you should be started with the download in 5 seconds. Usually it will take 5 seconds, and we should be seeing our downloads right here. So let's wait and see. So I forgot to mention that I'm using a VPN, so it will be more or less for you. So as you can see, the download also started. So that's the official website or the downloading process of the dwKDE Plasma. So let me open the console and let's try to get some of the information here. So there is a minor hiccups when moving the applications. So it's not a major lag or anything like that. It's just a milliseconds of lag. So let's check the version. 22.12.3. So let me type in the commands, which is inxi. So I think that's a command not found. So let's try the neofetch. Let's try uname-a. So because of the language, it says when you type on the keyboard, it should be different when you type. So that's the reason I'm just going to close, because we already know the kernel version. So let's open the installer and see whether there is some changes in the installer. So I guess it should be having a Calamares installer, so let's wait and see. So here is the installation process. The language is Dutch. Let's try to find American English so we can understand. So about Calamares installer 3.2.61 for dwKDE 2406. Again, this is same installation steps, so there is nothing complicated or anything different here. So if you don't know how to install the Linux distro, you can watch other videos of in other channels to get the installation tutorial. So I don't remember in which Linux distro I installed on the hard disk or a virtual disk, because I covered almost 3000 videos of every Linux distro, so it's pretty much hard to find in which Linux distro I installed that. So that's the reason it's a better option. Check other channels and properly watch all the videos and then install. So this is an unknown Linux distro, so it's better to install it on the virtual disk, or you can try it in the live boot if you want. Then if you satisfied, then go with the installation in the virtual disk. So let's get back to the installer. You get a lot of languages here. Click on next. You see here location. You can choose your location or from the map, or you can choose it from the drop down menu. So here are the locations. The time language will be set to American English, United States. You can change if you want, or else you can keep it like that. The numbers and dates locale will be set to the American English, United States. You can change, you can customize, it's clearly up to you. Click on next, and here you need to choose your keyboard. There are a lot of available here. Type here to test your keyboard. You can type it and choose those, and you can customize according to your language. Partitions. So you don't get a manual partitioning, you just get to erase the disk. So if you're trying it on the main PC or work PC, you don't get a dual boot option. So it's better to create a partition on your own and try it if you want to on a main PC or work PC. And I don't recommend that to do on your main PC or work PC. It's better to go with the virtual disk and install it on that virtual machines. So here you have the bootloader location. You can do that later, and you can choose the default, or you can do that later. So you don't get the encryption here in the dwKDE Linux, so that's pretty odd. And after that you can click on next. Choose your hard disk properly here. You need to carefully watch the tutorials in how to install these Linux distros. Click on next. You need to create your username, password and all those things. Let me type in my channel username and all those things. What is your name? I'm going to keep 95 Linux, which is my channel. What name do you want to use it to log in? I'm choosing run boxing because I love boxing. What is the name of this computer? I'm just going to keep it like 95 Linux. And the password, I'm choosing the simple password. So if everything is going good, you should be seeing all the tick marks here. If anything is wrong, it should be with a cross mark or a wrong mark. Log in automatically without asking for the password. Click on next. So here is the summary of whatever you chose in the installation or in the previous installation steps. Go through all those things, and if you want to install it, you need to install. After clicking on install, it's going to take like a 20 minutes maximum, more or less in your PC, because depends on the PC. So if you have like a high-end PC, it should be very quick. If you have like a low-end PC, it should be more or less. So that's the installation process. I'm not going to install because I need to make another video. So that's the reason I'm just going to run everything in the live boot. So the wallpaper looks like a macOS wallpapers, kinda. So let's see what wallpapers we get here from the dwKDE Plasma or the dwKDE. So let's check all the wallpapers. So it's based on Debian, so you should be seeing all the Debian wallpaper also. So don't get anything in the wallpaper section. Let's see the desktop features. So again, it's from the KDE Plasmas. All the KDE Plasma desktop environment features. Date and time. all those things. You can search it from here if you want. Let me try the Google Chrome. So here you can see all those things. Let's check the mouse. So you can find the settings of the Linux distro from here, and let's type text editor. So you should be seeing the Kate and the K, right? So you can search anything from here if you want. So here is the discover. Here are some updates, which is around 70 MB. Here is the discover version. You can customize according to your wish if you want. Installed applications, and here is the home, I guess. So let's close this thing and see what are the applications we get pre-installed here. Let's go to all applications. So these are all the applications you get from the dwKDE Plasma or dwKDE. So almost everything is from the KDE Plasma desktop environment. They just added some LibreOffice and some Jellyfin media player and the installer from the dwKDE and the GIMP Chromium browser and Bitwarden password manager. So these are all the things you get pre-installed. So there is nothing bloatware or anything like that. It's just some basic applications you get it from here, and USB imager also, and VLC media player, a new bootable USB solution. So these are all the applications you get from the from this Linux distro. So let me open all the applications and see what version we get here, and we need to check all those things and end the video, because there is nothing different other than some animations and some desktop changes and some applications added from the dwKDE Plasma. So if you want to try it, you can try it. If you want to install any, if you are trying to find any Linux distro for your main PC or work PC, this is not a Linux distro to install on your main PC or work PC, because it's an unknown Linux distro. So you need to install the well-known Linux distro. So go with the, there are a lot of Linux distros available in the market of Linux distros. You can just find any of the Linux distro, like a Linux Mint, Ubuntu, Fedora, and a lot of things, Debian, and all those things are available already. So the latest version of Debian is 12.6. You can download it from their official website if you want. So there are already videos in my channel. You can check all those videos if you want. All the latest news will be available in my channel already, so you don't need to worry about that. Try to search any type of Linux distro, there will be a video in my channel, because I cover like a 3000 videos, so you should be seeing almost every Linux distro in there. So let's open some applications here. So usually I will do a stress test in every Linux distro if they have applications here. So the basic meaning of this stress test is like I open like a 15 to 20 applications which consumes a bit of resources, and see whether it will handle day-to-day tasks by opening all the applications and switching the applications at once. So if we find any crashes or bugs or anything like that, you can easily identify it as it's a bad Linux distro, or it's not a bad Linux distro. You just need to skip that version and try to go with the stable versions, like maybe previous versions, or wait for the stable versions until they fix the bugs or something like that. So that's the main objective of a stress test, like open all the applications. This test is just for the normal user, because the normal user will open like a 4 to 5 applications. So at least it should handle like 15 to 20 applications at once without crashing or anything like that. So that's the main objective of that test. I do this test for the normal user. So if you're a pro user, or you already know how to use all this Linux distros, so you don't even need to watch my channel. So you can get an idea of how to run all those Linux distros. So let me open some of the applications here. Let's check like a GIMP for all those things. Let's open GIMP. So we pretty much opened a bunch of applications here. We need to open still more here. Inkscape. So this Linux distro can be useful for a content creator because they install pretty much Inkscape, GIMP, and VLC Media Player. So you need to just install the video editors, and you should be good with good for the content creation. But if you are a normal user, there are a lot of Linux distros already available. You don't need to go with this Linux distro because it's not a well-known Linux distro. Let's open USB. I think we pretty much opened all the applications, I guess. Let's see what else we have here. Still no, we don't have a Synaptic Package Manager, I guess. Let's open the contrast. Let's even open the GwenView. So we are good with these applications. We pretty much opened a bunch of applications. So again, these are not the heavy resource consuming applications other than Google Chrome and GIMP and Inkscape. So we have like 3 or 4 applications which consumes a bit of resources, and others are from just basic desktop environments from the KDE desktop environment applications, which doesn't consume a lot of resources. But we can try to do the test because there is a Chrome running in the background, so Chrome will consume a lot of resources already. So it's almost like a 3.4 GB, and CPU is almost under, can't exactly say, but it's under 50%. Let's see how much of programs. So here are all the applications, and here you can see the RAM. So the Chrome browser, it's consuming 160 MB, so that's good. So as you can see, the graph of the CPU and RAM will be not pretty much stable. RAM will be okay, but the CPU will be there will be a high peak because we opened all the applications at once. So that's the reason we need to wait for until 1 minute to get the stable graph after all the applications opened. So there is no applications to be opened right now. Already opened everything here. So here are the process. So it consumes almost like a 3.4 GB. So if you have like a 2 GB of RAM, I don't think it will run smoothly. But in this case, I have like a 8 GB of RAM, and I have a good CPU which is i5 1240p, so it's running properly. And remember, I'm running it on a live boot, so the RAM will be maybe 300-400 MB difference when you install it on the virtual disk or a hard disk. So that will be the difference. There will be no major difference like a maybe 900 MB or a GB. There will be not that much of difference. There will be like a 300-400 MB maximum. So let's try to switch the applications and see whether we see any crashes or anything. So as you can see, everything is working smoothly. There is no lag or anything like that. We can switch applications instantly. So you need to consider that or you need to remember that I have like a 8 GB of RAM also, so it can be very smooth. And if you have like a less RAM, so it should be different for you. You need to understand that. So there is no lag or anything. You can easily use it for day-to-day tasks, only if it's a well-known distro or if you are satisfied with this Linux distro. So I still don't recommend it for the main PC or work PC. You can try it like in the live boot or maybe for the virtual disk. It should be good. So I didn't find any lag or crashes or anything. There was a light or maybe minor delay when I was using in the beginning. So right now there is no lag or anything, no crashes, can be opened easily. So all the applications are running smoothly. So CPU is also pretty much good. So I think let's check the applications and close the applications here and end the video. Let's check the version. GwenView, you get almost every desktop environment apps will be same. 22.12.3 will be the version of almost all KDE desktop environment application in this Linux distro. So contrast version is here. Let's check the USB imager. The version is already on the top side. So the GIMP, we should be seeing the version. Let's check the version 2.10.34. Let me close this thing. Console version already showed in the beginning. New document. Let's check the version of the Inkscape. So I can't see the version. So it should be like a 1.2, I guess. So let me close this application. The version should be 1.2 like that, because almost every Inkscape in every Linux distro is same like that. So there is a Dutch language, so that is a problem for us. So the KDE desktop environment version is same. I'm going to close this application. Bitwarden and password manager. You need to log in. Jellyfin. LibreOffice. Let's check the version of the LibreOffice. I forgot there will be version from here, so let me open the Inkscape and let me show you the version. So here is the LibreOffice version. Let me open document and let me show you the Inkscape version. It should be here, but it's not properly showing. You don't get anything here. So these are from the dwKDE applications information, which is system. I don't know what it is. Let me close the Inkscape. So let's close this application. Chrome browser already shown. Let me close the Chrome browser. So the Thunderbird, let's check the Thunderbird. So it's a Bitterbird, I don't know what it is. It's a 115. I thought it was a Thunderbird. It says as a Bitterbird. So it's open source, you should be seeing everything here. Google, you can add accounts. Let's close the browser. Bitterbird and the Ockler. Let's check the version of the Ockler. Here is the version. So the file manager, the version should be same. Dolphin. And here is the file system. You can go check it out on the folders if you want, like a kernel folder. You can view anything here. You can customize. So let's close this thing. So we pretty much covered everything, I guess. So if I forgot anything, do let me know in the comment section. So let's check the system settings and end the video. So again, these are some of the same settings because of the desktop environment. It's a KDE Plasma desktop environment, so will be nothing difference other than when you customize things, it will be different. So same audio settings, Bluetooth and all those things, like a mouse, keyboard, monitor, same things. So I don't want to make the video lengthy. So at the end of the video, the CPU is almost 50% and the RAM is almost 2.1 GB. So here is the applications, here is the graph, and here is the process. So if you ask me about my final thoughts, so the Linux distro was running smoothly, there was no lag, there is a good animation when you move the applications. For example, let me show you that. So you already saw that. So there is a nice jelly animation, that's pretty good. So if you want to try to test it, you can test it in the virtual disk. But when you ask me about installation in the main PC or web PC, I don't really recommend to do that. So because of it's an unknown Linux distro. So if you want to get the information, you just get a news from the SourceForge. You don't even have the official website. They don't even have the official website to go and search or ask anything. You need to ask it in the SourceForge, I think. So that was the information, or that was a video of a dwKDE Plasma or the dwKDE. So I'm going to end the video here, and I'll make another video because of today I'll be posting, not today, I will be posting 2 videos daily without missing any day. So if you want to check another video, there will be a video already after watching this video. So I'm going to shut it down here. Peace out.